All right, guys, before we get too much into how to pick up these demons, women, today we're going to talk about the nature of the beast that you are dealing with. Because if you don't understand the nature of what you're dealing with, then this is going to be an ugly ride for you. So sit down, put on your seatbelts, because this is going to be a long talk. I've got all my notes here, and I don't do none of that AI stuff. Everything that I give you is straight from this brain. Everything that I tell you, I've developed on my own, okay? So you ever heard of that old book, Men Are From Mars? Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. You ever hear this one? I've never read it, but I get it. It's talking about how men and women are totally different creatures. We're completely different, yet we're the same. It's like a coin. They're on this side, we're on this side. It's like lightness and darkness, positive and negative. Now, are you saying that women are negative and dark? Yeah, and we're going to get into why. And by the end of this, you're going to understand why. And then everything after this that I teach you, you're going to have a perfectly clear conscience in dealing with. Two sides of the same coin, like I said, like yin and yang. All these symbols are here to teach you something. They're not just symbols for the sake of being symbols. These symbols were developed to make you meditate and think on. Women are the negative aspect of man. If you think about it, women are 100% reliant on men. And men are 100% reliable on women for making babies. Imagine a place where it's all women, no men. How would they get anything done? They're going to build a house? They're going to dig a cave? What are they going to do? They had the Wonder Woman. It was the Wonder Woman movie where she came from a land of all women. Women all by themselves would die off. Men all by ourselves would die off only because there's no women. Plain and simple. Personally, I believe in polygamy. After years and years of thinking about it, there's a couple religions that are with it. A lot of people are with it spiritually. And I've done research on people who are polygamists. And the women, they're glad. They want to be in a polygamous relationship like that because they say it's like a sisterhood. Could you imagine? See, men aren't equipped to deal with women's emotions. And like when they start talking all this stuff, eventually we just get tired of hearing it. It's not our fault. We're wired that way too. We ain't got time to got things to do. Got houses to build and holes to dig. So in polygamous relationships, they can all sit there in their room, 3, 4 of them, talk about all their problems, keep things tidy, raise the children. Could you imagine how many babysitters you got? You have plenty of babysitters. One wants to go to the store, no problem. Ain't nothing but hop on the freaking horse and go. Jay, I'm for polygamy. And it's in man's nature. Where in nature does man only want to spread his seed one time? Or to get the result of one? No. Even the Bible says, go forth and reproduce, multiply. Now, you can't multiply unless you get into exponentials. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. Then you got 4 wives, you can make 16 kids. You see what I'm going with this? Multiply. Prosper. And basically, back to the problem. We think when we get started out in the whole dating thing and wanting to talk to women thing, we start out thinking that they are just like us. We think that they're wired the same way we are. And of course, why wouldn't we? Every human being, as well as every living thing in existence, considers itself to be the center of the universe. Everything revolves around me. Therefore, when you're young and impressionable, you don't understand that you're just projecting yourself onto others, thinking they're just like me. But such is not the case, my friends. The prime objective for women is to bear children, nurture, and protect them until they make it themselves to old age and are able to reproduce again and again. generation after generation. Women are the gatekeepers. Men, we got the key. I recommend that you guys keep doing what you're doing and watching my content, because I'm going to quit. You have to make a decision before you get involved in what you're trying to get involved in. Picking up women and finding yourself a potential wife with just a bang. You have to know the nature of the enemy. And I don't want to say it's the enemy, but it's the enemy. Life experience has told me, and philosophical experience, and lots of research. And again, I don't want to go over my personal numbers, but if you want to know them, go back. First video, it's over 100. But that being said, we have to get to know the nature of what we are up against. I have seen far too many marriages fall apart because they got together too soon. They didn't get to know each other first. Then I've seen other marriages fall apart because they waited too long. In nature, when the body develops, it's time for reproduction. Women have this thing where, yeah, I'm going to wait till 30 to reproduce. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to just sleep with 20, 30 guys on the road to hitting 30 years old. Then I'm going to settle down. Who wants you then? What kind of cold guy are you looking for here? I don't want no used up material. But, it's better to just be alone. We're going to get into it. I had to be with a lot of women to figure out that it's just better to be alone. But it's a hell of a fun ride getting to this position, this knowledge position. So I encourage you to do it. Now, see me, I'm done, right? Because once I put all this information out, no woman's going to want to mess with me anymore because they know I know all their secrets. Wouldn't make any sense. Might have to go gay. Nah, I'm kidding. I can't do it. Even though that's probably living the life, you know what I'm saying? But I just can't do it. I can't S a D. I don't want nobody S in my D that looks like me. Face narrow. Anyway, let me have a look at my notes here. Why am I telling you all this now? Before you embark on a journey, you got to navigate the terrain first. And in order to navigate the terrain, it helps a lot to have somebody that's already been through the journey. Look at Mount Everest. You got those Sherpa guys. They're masters of the mountain. They know it like the back of their hand. They run up there, no protection, nothing. And they set up all the pins so all the other people can be guided up. And they help them. They pack in their spikes for them and make sure they get there and teach them how to camp out. And I consider myself to be that equivalent for you. I am your Sherpa, and I'm going to lead you to feminine glory. Well, it depends. I'm going to lead you where you want to go. Men were physically stronger, more philosophical, more inventive, more intelligent. Women are strong, emotional, soft, gentle, and nurturing, at least in appearance. They're patient, and they are very good at beautifying things. They're good at setting things and making them look nice. The man gets a nice house together, and the women keeps it nice and looking, decorated, cleaned. I didn't write this story. I just have watched it unfold for so many years. You would almost think that the entire meaning of this existence is to reproduce. Then you die, your children reproduce. For what? Where are you going? Nobody's going nowhere. There's a prison planet, my friends. Goal of life? Have offspring. That's what I just couldn't accept that early on. I couldn't accept that early on. Told you in previous videos, I said, no. From 20 to 30 years old, I am going to enjoy my life. I'm going to retire first, then work. Get the sweet on women while it's fresh. Not 60 when I get a divorce. You've done wasted your whole life. And you've been miserable for years, which led you to this divorce. And why were you miserable? Because of you? Or was it because of Esmeralda in the same house with you? When it's just one man and one woman in a household together, she has nothing better to do but nag at you, tell you all your faults, save up a whole bunch of stuff, and then one day just unleash you. You do this, you do that, you don't do this, you don't do that, this, that. You're like, It's like, what are you keeping a list over here? Why couldn't you tell me when the first thing happened? Be like, hey, let's address that now. No, they're making a list. I'm keeping it right up in here. I can't remember what they did yesterday, but they can remember everything you did for the last 50 years. That's why, like I say, I'm for polygamy. Have you ever heard the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned? I remember hearing that when I was younger, and I was like, dang, I never thought about that. Women are deviant when they want to be. While we are physically capable of just destroying them, they have the ability to wreck us mentally or convince others to do us harm in some way. Men simply want to have an orgasm. Women, they have to be emotionally into it. Their mind has to be into it. Every part of them has to be into it. A man's just like squish, 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 done. No worries. Women got to be emotionally involved into it for them to climax. Sorry to use such foul language. Other cultures, I'm not saying this is right, but other cultures circumcise the women. They chop off the clitoris, and that means they can never feel a sensation, an orgasm, and that way it keeps them in control. I'm just kidding, guys. Give me a break. Polygamy, yes, but I like to see my women having enjoyment too. Lets me know that I'm doing it right. Women need guidance. You ever been to like a restaurant and you watch a man needs to go to the restroom? He gets up from the table and he kind of navigates his way. He can figure it out. Women, they stand up and they look around. They walk like they're, where am I at? Why? Because they want a man to see that. Come up, take him by the arm. Yes, this way, madame, let me show you to the restroom. That's what they want. That's in their nature. They might not even know that that's what they want. I just wrote it here in my notes. It is going to be my goal to teach you all what I had to learn the hard way in the trenches. For now, you must know that her mind does not function anything like yours. This is where it gets sticky, so pay attention. Women are insidious, charming, fragile. Behind the beauty, warmth is something much colder and calculating. An evolutionary trait developed for survival. It's been developed in them. This has happened over an evolutionary period of time to keep them alive. They're not evil like a movie villain. You know what I'm saying? Like Skeletor. They're not evil in that sense. Like Charles Manson. That's not what I mean by evil. I just mean polar opposite. I can't think of a better word. Good, evil, polar, opposite, positive, negative, light, dark, yin, yang. However, women are indifferent, dispassionate, efficient, and ruthless. Are they your partner? Are they your soulmate? Or is it just nature's bait? Better half, we say. But it isn't necessarily the better half. None of the beauty and grace is real. It's nature's disguise. Every single aspect and thought that a woman has is 100% guided by the idea of reproduction. Her personality traits, her behavior, all for one thing: reproduction. All of the beauty, the charm, the fragility is to do one thing: lure a man into reproduction. The terrifying part of it all is it's not always conscious. They don't wake up every single day thinking of new ways to deceive. It's wired into their very makeup. It is embedded in their biology. The smiles, the tears, the helplessness, it all serves one purpose. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Love is nothing more than an illusion. An illusion to ensure reproduction. Chemical traps. Man thinks he is chasing happiness when he's really chasing after his own demise and his own extinction. Man devotes his entire life, future, and resources into finding a woman and love. And then when they find out that there is no such thing, the man is left empty, diminished, bitter. For her, it isn't about love or forever. It's an illusion that she creates to get what it is that she wants. Children, protection, and a man to fund her life. When you're all used up, she moves on to the next opportunity. Like it's nothing. Watch how fast a man is discarded when he loses his value. You see about the guys that go over there, Iraq, other places to fight for their country. All the while, their woman is back home, cheating on him in front of his kids. How common you know that is? Common. I bet you probably even know someone that has happened to. Women are capable of deep manipulation without deep thought. They aren't stupid. Their intelligence is simply wired differently. Instinctively social, instinctively strategic. Women can fake affection with terrifying skill. And our society teaches men to falter over women. Throw down your jacket so they never see the dagger coming. And believe me, when she gets the dagger, she's gonna drive it into you as deep as she possibly can. Think about the 7 deadly sins. One of them is lust. Who is lust deadly to? Men or women? Evil hides best, my friends, with an angelic face, beautiful makeup, swarthy, beautiful hair, nails painted, perfumes, scented oils, cream. She spent hours plucking eyebrows. All these little details for one reason. A man fights for what he wants. Women find other men to fight for her. It can almost be safely assumed that this is intended to be a life of suffering. That being said, women are the gatekeepers of suffering. Every new birth is a new entry into the cycle of life, cycle of pain. This is not a blame game. This is understanding the machinery. Their weaknesses: fear of aging, withering, insecurity, competition with other women. Nature uses them up, chews them up, and spits them out as soon as their reproductive value is complete and their value declines. This is why aging hits women differently than men. With men, age brings power, attraction, wisdom. For women, aging is kind of like a death within life. Their social currency vanishes. I've personally heard an older woman say she feels invisible now. Their beauty fades, and thus fades their power. They'll do everything they can to grasp onto youth. Makeup, surgeries, Botox. Think of all the things they do. Facials, creams, days at the spa, all the filters that they use. And it's not conscious. It's automatic. That being said, guys, I hope that after listening to this, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. That we're not the same. We are the same. Even in the Bible, man was built first. A rib was taken out and a woman was built from that rib. God did not create the woman. He created the woman through the man. They're not the same. The woman's prime objective is reproduction. When you realize that, and you know their weaknesses, this is when you can formulate the basis of your attack. And when I say attack, I don't mean attack. I mean your way to get what it is that you want. That's sweet but dussy. Whether you want to keep it after that or move on to the next is completely up to you. My recommendation, friends, keep moving through them. Keep moving through them. When you get to be an old man like me and a beautiful girl walks by, you say, it's nothing because I've had the best and most beautiful women that can be had because I went at it when they're their most beautiful. You're going to wait and then you're going to see this beautiful girl walk by and you're just going to have to be like, I wonder. I don't wonder. I'm happy. Told you this before. I wouldn't recommend this to you if I didn't thank goodness, thank gracious that my life was lived this way. I see the misery in ordinary men. I see the pain. I see the deadness in their eyes. They go home and they've got this wife and these kids. And they got to go to work every day just to pay for them. Imagine. My friends, I'm not going to let it happen to you. I haven't done it yet, but I'm coming up with a tiered system of teaching you guys. We're going to have 4 levels. Incel. This is number 1. This is you guys starting out. Next step is called pillar. From caterpillar. This is you beginning to learn. You're kind of ugly and you're moseying along. 3rd level is pet. You've done figured it out. And you're a master of the game. Any woman you want, or 2, anytime you want. And then finally, the Casanova. For short, we're going to call it the Novas. The Novas are so good and so masterful that now they are able to teach it to others and keep the dream alive. That being said, thank you very much. May Allah bless you. May Jesus save you. May Buddha give you all the information that you've been looking for. May the Hindu God keep you from turning blue like he did. And in the Lord's name we pray. Nazvidanya.